Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very honored to be here. I really want to thank you, Uma, for having this event again this year. I was here last year, listened to so many inspirational talks, and I'm just amazed to hear the new set of inspirational stories again. It gives me immense pleasure to share my own experience with you all today. There are times in life when we make decisions that seem right at that moment, but after a few weeks, we realize that they might have been wrong. So, how do we convince ourselves, our stakeholders, our personal people that it is okay to pivot or change course? I'm someone who actually thinks a lot, even after making a decision. And I have faced situations in life where, after I made a wrong choice, I did not correct it because I was worried what others would think. I recently faced a similar situation, and I would like to share that with you all. So, for the past 1.5 years, I've been working on an internal AI assistant tool within Amazon, and I've grown very passionate about Gen AI, learning about its capability, and I'm still very bullish on what it can do for us. So what happened, like, after I came back from my vacation in January this year, I realized I got to know that due to a reorg, my whole team was moved from one part of Amazon to other, basically from retail to AWS org. I was very apprehensive about joining AWS because I had heard a lot of stories about a lot of work life balance, etc. And because of the fact that I got moved from one org to another, and given all the stories about how difficult it is to get job outside, I took it upon all on myself to ensure that I'm working very hard from day one. Initially, when I joined this new program, it was very chaotic. No documentation. Team was still coming together. A lot of and no mechanisms in place, etc. So what I did was that I started getting involved in too many areas, whether it is driving external dependencies, creating mechanisms in place, even creating small as creating Slack channels to track everything. I realized that I was so caught up in proving myself that I did not realize when actually night turned into day. And that is when I realized that I'm actually feeling burnt out. So feeling overwhelmed, I started looking out for internal job opportunities within other teams. And luckily I found you, and I decided to go with the one where I knew the manager. So once I found that internal job opportunity, I reached out to my director and I told her that I have made up my mind and I have decided to move out. And also until then, for about 1.5 month, I did not have any one-on-one with my manager and all of that. So I thought that here nobody is actually recognizing the work I'm doing, and I was pretty clueless and confused how I'm doing and all of that. And because I was working so hard, it was taking a little toll on my personal life, and that is where the mom guilt also started kicking in. After that, so once I reach out to my manager, she asked me, she just told me one thing, that we as women feel that we are not doing enough, but you are doing good. Is there anything that I could do to stop you? Deep down, I wanted to tell her that I wanted you to recognize my work, or probably we should have had a chat where we can talk about how overwhelmed I'm feeling currently. But I just kept quiet and I said, no, I have made up my mind and I'm moving to a new team where I know the manager and all of that. So a week before I was to start my new job, I began having doubts. Like, I saw different colleague managing their roles. I realized that here in this new org, I'm building a new AI agentic platform, and the work is actually very exciting. I started doubting myself if I've made a right choice by deciding to move to a new team and all of that. So the day before leaving my current team, I had an epiphany and I realized that this is where my heart belonged to, but I just kept quiet. And then just before leaving, I met with my director. I told her that it was really lovely working with you. Then she just started talking to me very openly. She's Vandana, I really loved your work. You've been doing an amazing job and all of that. Then I told her that I wish you had told me all these things before. And it looks like that she reached out to another director within my org, and he sent me a big Slack message, not sorry, a long Slack message telling me how grateful he's that I am on his team. I've helped organize work and he would love to have me for long term and all of that. So all those elements of recognition that we have heard, it actually matters, right? When you make a person feel valued, it actually helps. So after I saw his long message, I told, and he said that I would really want to talk to you. This was my last day before this was on my last day in that team. So I told him that, yeah, let's chat. And then he spent around 45 minutes to an hour speaking to me on what I could do here, where things went wrong, how we can support, and all of that. And by the end of that talk, I was convinced that this new org is where my heart belongs, and this is where I want to work. But again, the second guilt came in that now how do I tell the other team's manager that I don't want to join his team? I took a leap of faith. I said that it's fine, it's okay. This is a corporate world. This it keeps happening, and if I now pull back from new offer, it's okay. I had never done anything like that before. I reached out to my manager, basically the manager of the other team, and I told him that I do not want to join his team. And I told him, sorry, I'm sure I've 10 or 15 times, and then I just started to again work back in this team. Then what those two directors did was they sent out an email to my new team's manager telling him that they are very grateful for him to allow me to not allow but to have to help me continue in the same team and all of that. So again, through this whole experience, I just want to share a couple of important valuable lessons. First is avoid burnout. You do not have to prove yourself on from day one. Take time to listen and observe. Second is that remember that many decisions are reversible. It is okay to change your mind and go back. Nobody knows you better than yourself. Third is ask for feedback early. People may, even if there is no formal one to one meeting setup, people may be just too busy working in their own things that they may not realize that it's important to have that connection. Fourth is trust your instinct and follow your passion. We women put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make perfect decisions and stick to them. But it is important to remember that it is okay to reassess and change course whenever necessary. Just by being true to ourselves and communicating openly, we can really navigate challenging situation and have fulfillment in our career. Thank you everybody for listening, and happy Women's Month to everybody.